My name is Jenny, and I'm a wife and mom raising 2 kids. But I used to live a more glamorous life as a TV reporter. I was on the nightly news interviewing pop stars and politicians. So when I said goodbye to TV and hello to motherhood, I suddenly discovered what we moms are up against. We live in a world that tells us to be rich and famous, thin and successful. You know, almost nobody says, "Oh, hey, you're a mom? That's fabulous." But you are fabulous, and I'm here to tell you why.
It's the Channelmom Show, celebrating you with Jenny Dean Schmidt.
Welcome to the Channelmom Show, moms. We are here to celebrate you as a mom, coach you, inform you, let you know the latest and the greatest to help your life. My name is Jenny Dean Schmidt. I am your host and a mother myself. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you, Daniel.
Happy New Year, Jenny.
Thank you. First, my commentary this morning. Listen up, Dan. It happens to be inspired by the Muppets, and I know your nieces will probably see the Muppets movie. Those Muppets do indeed have a new movie out, which I went to with my husband and kids this week, and I walked out of that movie with something new to say to everyone in our Channelmom audience. Here it is. It's very big. I really and truly identify with the Muppets in the new Muppets movie. Not because I'm still 8 years old or because I'd like to have the wardrobe that Miss Piggy has. I identified with the movie because it had a goody-goody script with an idealistic message. A message that is no longer considered cool or fly or sick or whatever the word is that you use for, quote, it sells. In fact, the bad guy in the Muppet movie actually makes fun of Kermit and his friends for having such a goody-goody movie. He wickedly tells the lovable green puppet that innocent, idealistic stuff does not sell anymore. And then I thought of moms. That whole saying that we used to have years ago about something being as sweet and innocent as motherhood and apple pie. That approach isn't exactly the number one goal of Hollywood or the music industry or the digital world that we all live in now. And I'm not going to start railing against the evils of Hollywood like a lot of people do. And I'm not going to tell you how we all need to repent and never go to an R-rated movie again. Here's what I will say, though. I kind of feel like a Muppet because I'm also standing for a media message that is old-fashioned and uncool. I get up every single Saturday morning to tell the world that what moms do is important, even if it is not sexy or glamorous, even if it doesn't produce Bill Gates cash or Beyonce big crowds. I still believe in motherhood and in moms who are trying to raise good children. I still believe in family and good values. I still believe in cheering on moms who are struggling and may not look picture perfect. And you know what? I am fighting a tide out here, people. There are many media types who will tell you that my motherhood message does not sell. They might even tell you that the Channelmom Show does not matter compared to American Idol or CSI or Brad and Angelina. In fact, you know, I have a close friend who recently wrote a book about moms. And when she approached some big-time publishing companies with her manuscript, they told her, quote, "Motherhood's been done, lady." What? Motherhood's too old school? So last year? So 1982? I think not. Everybody would do better in this world with a good mother. I think you would agree. I will fight for the cause of good moms and committed motherhood and good families as long as I live. Without good and loving and committed moms and dads, frankly, what do we have on this planet? What do our children have? What do we leave the world with? So me and the Muppets, we're not going to go away anytime soon. Hopefully our messages will not either. And that brings me to one of the ways that the Channelmom Show is trying to honor average moms out there and spread that media message that motherhood and family and children matter. We have something called Mom of the Year, and we're going to be announcing our Mom of the Year in January. We've taken nominations at some of our past special events when we did the Chick-fil-A event called Celebrate Mom Day. About 2 months ago, we took some nominations there, and we've been taking them along, and we really want to see if anybody out there in the radio audience has a mom they'd like to nominate. If you do, please just give us a call and give us her name and your name and number, and I'll call you back, and we can talk about why you want to nominate that mom. Our number here is 303-297-1510, 303-297-1510. 888-1510. So please nominate a mom that you would like to see for Mom of the Year. Also, I want to get a chance to welcome some of our regular listeners, Jackie and Michaela, who listen to us loyally, and I just want to make sure I mention them. All righty. Time for the news, Dan.
If you're tired of the same old news,
What more do you want?
I want the truth.
You're hearing it. Strap yourselves in, folks.
never fear.
What's the dealio?
Part of life is learning to let things go.
We've got news moms can use.
What was that name again? I missed that.
News moms can use.
Okay, in the news this week, we have got the latest stories, and I've told you this before, but we pick them based on what we think moms want or need to hear. And I doubt any other media entity out there does that. We really try to find stories that we think you'll be interested in. And I've just got to start with a little something special. This is for the Denver audience about Mr. Tim Tebow. It seems, Dan, that the Broncos quarterback is receiving an honor that is a little out of the ordinary for someone in his position. Do you know what it is?
Well, I know he got a team fine, but I don't think that's what you're talking about.
No. That's not an honor. That's not what I'm talking about. I want you to play that little music. I heard this music in the background. It's the Fray, Colorado band, and I imagine Tebow is a fan of theirs. They did a piece on either NFL or ESPN about Tebow, and this sound was in the background, so it's going to be in the background for our story about Tebow. Apparently, people truly believe that Tebow would actually, quote, love thy neighbor as thyself, because when Americans were surveyed about which celebrity they would most like to have as their neighbor, Tim Tebow was the winner. And that's across America. The voting results came from the 5th annual Zillow Celebrity Neighbor Survey, where Tebow was chosen as the most desirable neighbor for 2012. The Zillow survey credited Tebow's popularity to his unshakable attitude and consistent displays of faith during games. They did note that the survey showed the 24-year-old quarterback's popularity was significantly higher among male adults, 14% compared to female adults. So moms, apparently you don't like him as much as the dads out there. Celebrities, super couples, Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt, and Jennifer Aniston and Justin Theroux received 10% and 9% of the vote respectively. But here's the part that gives me hope for America. The majority of surveyed adults, 42%, said they did not want to live next to any celebrities. And not that I don't think Tim Tebow would make a great neighbor, because he probably would. But I do love that Americans aren't that taken away by celebrities that they got to live next to one. And now I'm going to get a little real with you in this section of our news. This is a little bit more serious. We created the Channelmom show to encourage moms, to love moms, and to equip them to grow to be even better moms. So that's why I was taken aback as I was preparing for this newscast and reading through the news headlines for the week. Here's what I discovered. Headline after shocking headline, I was reminded of why our children need good mothers out there and why we should be encouraging good moms in our culture. Please forgive me if these headlines offend you, but they make a very solid point that none of us can afford to ignore. Here are some of the headlines I read this week for real. Man behind bars after injecting a 14-year-old girl with heroin. Police find missing 2-year-old alive after he was taken in a carjacking in which 2 people were killed. And finally, and worst of all of the headlines, babysitter chopped up, 9-year-old Indiana girl with a hacksaw. Ugh. Honestly, this is why I do this show. Kids need mothers. They need mothers and fathers who will love and protect them. And those mothers and fathers need to be encouraged, and the media doesn't do that very often, so that is why we're here. And in other news, this is a tearjerker. A mom gives the gift of life just before losing her own. This story out of Pocatello, Idaho. It's about a teen pregnancy that included the ultimate sacrifice made by a young mom named Jenny Lake. Now, I want to say that early teen pregnancy or teen pregnancy outside of marriage is not something I would regularly endorse, but this story is worth telling because it reveals the sacrifice of a mom that seems to come naturally even to a teenager. You see, Jenny Lake gave birth to a baby boy the month before her 18th birthday, but Jenny would not raise her young son, and here's why. Jenny began to have severe headaches when she was 16 years old. A biopsy revealed she had cancer with tumors on her brain and spine. Jenny underwent chemo and radiation and even made it to her high school prom with her boyfriend Nathan, who dated Jenny all the way through her cancer treatments. Sometime after her initial treatments, Jenny found out she was pregnant, and apparently the young lady had always wanted to be a mom. So when the doctor told her she could not continue her cancer treatments while pregnant, Jenny chose against the option of terminating her pregnancy and against the option of further cancer treatments, choices she made in order to protect her growing baby. Jenny and her family believed that since her tumors had already started to shrink earlier, she had a strong chance of carrying the baby and then returning to treatment after he was born. But through her pregnancy, the cancer began to progress and Jenny grew weaker. She was frail and very thin when she gave birth to her son, Chad Michael.
1 minute.
Jenny died 12 days after becoming a mom. Upon being admitted to the hospital to give birth, it's reported that Jenny pulled a nurse down to her bed at bed level and whispered in her ear. Jenny's mom said that this girl told the nurse, "I'm done. I did what I was supposed to do. My baby is going to get here safe." Now, I'm not arguing that this was the ideal situation or that people that don't make that choice, there's something wrong with them. I'm just continually impressed by the sacrifices moms are willing to make. You're listening to the Channel Mom Show on Mile High Sports Radio, AM 1510, FM 93.7. Here's the deal. There's a new theory that suggests that guys will sacrifice just about anything for sports, but not necessarily for relationships or marriage. Coming up
10.
We'll see how guys who are great athletes or sports fans can take that greatness into marriage.